Hi everyone, it's your girl Luna here. For today's video, I want to show you guys how to code, create programs based off of formulas you guys are familiar with in math classes. So like how to turn yards, feet to inches, and then vice versa. The formula for the circle and sphere, the distance formula, and integer expression. What I am on is called Eclipse. So Eclipse is a downloadable software for Java that you can use to begin coding in Java. And as you guys can see on the left, these are the projects I have created. So in Eclipse, the projects are more like files for you guys to save your work on, and these are the programs you use. Instead of be calling programs, they are called classes. So if you when I click on my personal, you can see I have done a lot of classes, because I goofed around a bit, and the rest are from classes I have taken. So to get started, we're gonna first do what I consider the easiest in terms of, it's not really asking for much in terms of coding, is the yards, feet to inches. So when you first create the class, you'll see this will be automatic. You can set this to private as well, but the difference between public class and private class is public, anyone can see your code on Eclipse and they can take it and use it. But if you set it to private only, I believe you can set it to select people to share it, but other than that, it's just strictly you have access to it. No one can. No one else can. So after that, you type in public static void main string, the straight bracket, and not in it, out of it is args, and then lastly you put a curly bracket after, and then press enter. So when you do a bunch of coding, you need to be aware of your curly bracket, because if you miss one, which I have done in the past, it mess up your whole code and your code won't work. And if you have done a lot of coding, because it does show you, as you can see from this, it's giving you notifications. In this case, there's nothing wrong with my code because I just started, but it will show you. It will show you suggestions on how to fix an error. If you see an X, like a big X sign, that is something more a human error instead of a programming error. So right after that, I'm gonna indent twice to create some space. Then I am gonna create a scanner, just simply doing scanner rf equals new scanner, system dot in. There. Also, another thing you always have to remember is your semicolon. Just like with the curly bracket, if you miss, pretty much with anything, any simple mistake can ruin the entire program. So right after typing that, I'm just going to indent again, but I'm going to put 3 different ints. So the int is short for integers. So when dividing or multiplying, you can have 2 sets of, there's multiple sets of numbers. So you have your integers, which are whole numbers. Then you have doubles. Double include the decimal, so it'll be a double will be like 1.5 or 0.5, like something like that. Integers are just like whole number 1, 2, 3. You're counting numbers. Floats are similar to doubles, but it actually extends almost like the number pi is like 3.14, etc., etc. But you can mix and match with them, but you always have to be aware with them based when you're trying to do a final result. If you want your final result in integer, it just keep everything integers. But if you want it double, you can put everything as double, floats, whatever. So I am just gonna do one more int. Then I'm gonna put num for like numbers. Number of yards, num for inches or feet, and then num for inches. Then what is the error here? Oh, I see. I had an extra U for my num. There's another error. What is the error here? Oh, it is that. Oh, I did confuse it. Okay. I was like, what am I missing? I confused an N for an M, which is common for me. Then after you write your integers, type in system.println. For a quick mention, for anyone that is a bit familiar with coding, there is a difference between just simply typing print and println. Print, if you write everything in print, it will print in one line and it will look like a mess. So counteract it, you put println, which will move the where you have the ln in to move to the next line, so it won't be as messy. So println commas, enter number of inches. Since inches tend to be I wouldn't say larger. Yards are larger in terms of like actual length, but you can go crazy with the amount of inches and it'll still be more nicer and prettier than just doing yards. Then below it, you type in num, or you can just copy and paste, up to you. So num inches equals scanner, or in my case it will be just abbreviation. I put dot next, and as you can see when I type it in, you see all these different phrases. Depending on what you put, depending on like what you assign, you can click in it and make it easier. So since I'm doing just integers, it will be next int, and then and then semicolon again. So what that does is when I run the program, you will look at the bottom where it says console, and you will see this phrase, enter the number of inches, and it will appear, and then you can just type it in the console, so it'll be interactive. So after that, let's do num. So now I'm actually gonna just copy and paste. Whoops, I'm just gonna do just this part for all three, so I won't have to type it. So it will be num v after. Whoops. Num inches. There we go. So right after that, so I'm gonna do this. So equals parentheses. So like you learn in math, there is an order of operations. So PEMDAS or PEMDAS, depending on your teacher or professor. So it will follow the PEMDAS rule. So just like in math, you always follow left to right. Coding does the same thing. It reads left to right. And it goes order of operation. So inside the parentheses, just to make it clean, so it'll be num of inches. So inches was the last. So there we go. I just made it simpler for myself since I had to save. So it'll be num inches divided by 36. Whoops. Simple as that. For the feet, there's a little more. So equal again, but, so I'm going to double up on my parentheses. There we go. It may look, I guess, a little messy, but it's important. So again, num of inches. Whoops. Instead of putting divide, I'm going to put a percent sign. The percent kind of acts like a divide sign. So let me put it. So percent of 36. And then outside of the parenthesis, well, out of the first parenthesis, divide by 12. And then finally for the last one, for inches, this one going back to simple. It's pretty much the same as the yard, but instead of 36, it's 12. So it's pretty much divided within itself. So it will be percent to give some space for 12. Now, after all that, you type in system. Okay, I thought I spelled it wrong. My fault. System dot print ln so num yard. So I'm just gonna put this ahead of time so I won't cause an issue. So a few of you guys might be wondering, why am I putting a plus sign? The plus in Java, and I believe in some other coding language, it acts like an and. So it will kind of like separate everything. So it'll be plus everything. So it'll be num. So to separate everything, it'll be num and this and this. Another important fact or important element is, which I'm going to type in just a second. Well, I wouldn't say type, I'm just going to input, is the question marks. This will also act as almost like yours. So this will separate everything clearly, but if you wanted more space between each of your numbers, you do this. You add this and press space. So you will see a space between it. Then you type in, well, in this case I'm just using it because I need the word yard, but just to make it a little cleaner, I'm just gonna put the space back. Then it'll be num feet. So pretty much I'm writing the same thing for each of them. So num feet. I just added an extra F. That's why I was for a second I was like, why is it still making an error? I just figured it out. I just added an S for some reason. And so I'm just gonna do this quickly, and plus parentheses. Well, I have to do this twice actually. So it'll be none. Oops. There we go. And then space, inches. Period. And that is it. And that's literally it, you guys. So let me save this. And let's let it run. So as you guys can see in the bottom is a enter number of inches. Then let me just type in the word the number 300. You can see, I guess I need to space this out a little more, but so let me space out this part and this part. So you can see it's 8 yards, 1 feet, and 0 inches. So let's see it again if I, whoops, I forgot to save my adjustment. Let me try that again. Hopefully it did save. I just put it in a different number. And I just realized my whole thing just disappeared. Wait. Not that. Sorry about that, guys. I brought everything. Let's see. That was yep, I was missing this one. Now I brought everything back. But that's pretty much it for this one. So yeah, I just fixed the spacing issue. So yeah, you can, if you type in any inches, if you type in any inches, it will give you the yards, feet, and inches. Now let's move on to the next form. This is for the distance form. Typically, you won't see this unless you're a high schooler, which is like which will be like the first time you see it. So for this one, just like with the public static. Sorry about that. Just like the yard, feet, and inches, I would need the public static main. So I'm just gonna copy and paste from here and then put it here. So I need to, whoops, indent. I'm just gonna delete this part. Let me. Cool. So there we go. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like one of them's like, that's why. I was like, something was off when I looked at it. Okay, for the distance formula, similar to the yard feet, I do need a scanner. So once again, I'm just gonna, so you can, if you already have it code and you know you need a similar component, you can easily copy and paste from like a previous class and just bring it along. So I'm just gonna do the same thing and put it here. Whoops. And I'm missing the ace. That's in here. And there we go. Now that's fixed. So now, here's where the difference in the code will be, or the program. So with the distance formula, on a coordinate plane, you will need 2 coordinates. So it will be 2 different points, with each of them having their own set of coordinates. So your x and y. So when you're trying to do the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 in a square root, inside a square root. So in that case, this time I'm going to use a double, because sometimes it's always not a direct, it's not on a single number. What I mean is, like, it could be 1.5, 1.6, whatever. So I'm going to use double, and it will be simply double x1, double y1, double x2, and then double y2. So x2, whoops, double y2. After that, just like before, I'm going to put system.println so I'm pretty much going to write this whole thing out, and then you can so I'm writing this out 4 times for each coordinates, for each points. So I'm just gonna put print. So before I do that, then put coordinates for x1. Whoops. And below it, I wrote sorry about that, guy. I just realized I just put so I meant to say not not x1. I meant to say the coordinates for that specific point. So for the map, you'll always have, this is point 1, this is point 2, and each of them have its own individual coordinate. So that's what I meant by that. Sorry about that. So below the coordinates, below this sentence, I'm gonna put system.print ln, and here's where I add enter x1. And then do the same system dot out dot print ln enter y1. Then below it, which I forgot to put when I did the x, is this x1 equals scanner. Well, in this case, it's this. It's an abbreviation of it. Scanner dot next double. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this part and put it below my y sentence, and just replace the x1 with the y1. gonna be y1. There we go. And then you have to write the same sentence, just swapping the 1 with the 2's. So copy. And I'm just gonna go slightly below. And then it will be for point 2, x2, and y2. After all that, you're going to type in double distance equals. So this is what I mean by like Java has a collection of math equations. So if you type in math, in this case we need math square and math power. Whoops, I meant to do this. So let me retype this. So math square. So let me retype this whole thing for a second. There we go. So I need the square part. So I'll keep adding. Here we go. Perfect. So that will appear. So inside that parenthesis, I need another parenthesis actually. Actually no, I need another mat. What I need, this mat is different. This mat is for power. Because if you know from the distance formula, so it'll be the distance formula will equal the square root in parentheses x2 minus y2 squared plus parentheses y2 minus y1 squared. So power x2. So you will delete the comma that's separating it. So it will be, I'm gonna switch the num to be y1. No, I'm right. It was already right when I did this. Sorry. And then plus mat again. For the powers, and this time it's x2 and y2. But, well, actually y1 and x1, y1. I just need to put the minus sign for both. Just make sure you remember your semicolon. Then below it, just gonna do this. System dot out dot print ln. Inside it, the distance. The distance between point 1 and point 2 equals, outside of it, the distance. And that is it for this program. Quite long compared to the other one. I just need to fix the spacing for this. This was like, I'm ignoring the curly bracket. So this was 26 lines compared to the first one we did. It was 20 lines. It will, depending on your program, it will get longer and longer and longer. So be prepared. So let me save. What the error? Sorry about that, guys. I needed to check something if I was missing anything, and I was a little bit. I noticed my LN was I noticed some extra letters in my LN, like eyes. And the other thing I completely missed out was in the map power. So I did remember this part where in the listed format is always minus the points, or the coordinates I should say, but I forgot to add the to the power of what. So I completely missed that. My apologies. But then I fixed everything. So now, this was already saved. So now when we run it, so let's choose a number. Let's choose a small number like 5 and 8. Now, for x2, I'll say the number 15. Oops. And this one could be 12. So, the reason why it's giving this number is because when you subtract it into the power 2, it won't give like a clean number. Unless you know like the total, the sum, or I should say the difference plus the power to the numbers, then it will probably be much cleaner than what I am showing here. Now for the next program, we're gonna tackle the areas of a sphere. This one is actually a lot shorter compared to the distance formula. So just like before, I would need the public and the scanner together. So copy. And let me just make sure I add the other missing curly bracket. And voila. Now, so I need, after copying that, I'm going to type in system dot println. So this is for the area. So what I mean by sphere and circle, I should really clarify. I meant to say circle. So this will calculate typically what most of the time when you're dealing with circle, like what is the distance, or I should say distance, the circumference. This is the circumference, the area. So it'll be like the circumference of the circle, the area of it, and then the area of the sphere. That's what it is. So it does include the sphere, but it's mainly focused on the two aspects of the circle. So system.println, enter the radius. So if you don't know what the radius is, the radius is half of the length of the diameter. The diameter goes from one end of the circle to the other. The radius is half of it. So enter radius. I'm surprised I actually spelled it right because I always forget like a letter or two. I'm gonna space this for a second, and then below it, I'm gonna put R. Oh, I almost forgot something. So below the scanner, I need to put what I am labeling the R as. So it will be R equals, it will be double R, because it's like usually radius are not always single number. It could be decimals number. So it will be R then this. So this part will be R equals scanner. Miss my C's. next double. There we go. Then we're gonna write out all. So I'm gonna copy this a few times. So 1, 2, 3, and this is like for the final one. 4. So I need to put a circle. So within the parenthesis for this one, I'm gonna put circle circumference equals plus since typically you always, so when you're finding the circumference of a circle or the area of a circle, you always need pi. Thankfully, we don't have to type all those numbers. We can simply go on mat.pi and it will have it for us. Thankfully. R. There we go. Oops, I am missing one aspect. I am missing 2. Because typically, for the equation for the circumference of the circle, when you only have the radius, it's always 2 pi r. Be careful, there is a slight difference in the area. Instead of multiplying in the area, instead of multiplying the 2, you're raising the radius to the power 2. So 2 pi r for the area, for the circumference. Next would be, so system.outprint, but this time circle's area equals mat so just like before, mat pi mat pi times mat power, oops, not pi, mat power but in the parentheses it'll be R2, oops. Let's see what's the issue. Oh, I see. I added a capital P. Yeah, that was the issue. And that's it for that one. And for the last one is for the sphere. So sphere equals so for Sphere is 4 times map power R2 again. So and then below that, for this last system, I put sphere volume. Oh, I did forget one. Yeah, it was for the sphere volume. So sphere volume. So volume is like, it's like the inside of it. It's the inside of an a three-dimensional shape. That's how I would describe it. So volume, not like how loud something is, equals so this one doubled up on the parentheses, so it'll look kind of messy. So it'll be mat. Actually, no, it would be 4. So 4.4 because since we're dealing with doubles being needed, but so with doubles and integer you can combine them, and most likely you can think of it like a double is greater than an integer, so the output will always gonna be a double. So that's how you can think of it. So if you really want a large decimal number, stick with double, but you can just combine them and you'll still end up getting a double. So sphere volume plus, and then 4.0 divided by 3. Outside that first parenthesis, or the innermost parenthesis, times map power. Oh no, not map power, map pi. So time times the estimate power that I need. So I need R and 3, which, there we go. And that is it for this one. So let me save this and run it. So enter a radius. Let's do 5. So it calculates everything. So typically in math class, your teacher will ask you to round it to the nearest tenth or hundredths. So, but this is, so the circumference will be 31.41 if you're gonna round it to the nearest hundredths, or 31.4 if you want to round it to the nearest tenth. Same thing for the area of the circle is 78.5. Again, if your teacher, depending on your teacher, the where you round, for me, is always, if it's 4 or lower, it stays the same. 5 and up, it goes, the number go up 1. And I know some people know it as 5 or lower, stay the same, 6 and over, change the, go up 1. And then for the spear is 100, but the volume is 523.59, and all those numbers. Now for the last program is for a simple division and division and addition. Nothing too crazy. So this is for integer expression. Just like before, I'm just gonna quickly copy the public static void main and the scanner. So let's quickly do this. So I always like to do this because I know I'm going to write a lot of code, so it's like, let me just space it out. Now for this one, so again we're going back to integers. So you will have a total of 6 integer spots. So it will be first int, second int, third int, and then below it will be first result, second result, third result. The results are the result of the equations of what I'm going to show you guys in a second when I finish writing all of them. So first result. Weird. Oh, I just realized. Oh, that's why I said weird, because I hadn't noticed this part was like capital. So first result. Second result. And lastly, third result. Now, after this, I would need a couple of system output. So I'm just gonna copy and paste from my previous one, just ignoring the circumference. I will delete the previous response. So I'm just gonna do first 2. There we go. So for this first one, I'm gonna type out enter first int. Simple. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind from where I am. I hope not. If so, I apologize. So I just want to make sure it's just a regular colon, not a semicolon. There we go. Then below it, after that, first int equals scanner dot next int, then below it. So I'm pretty much repeating. So I'm just gonna actually take what I wrote and just replace it with the other two. And there we go. So just replacing the word with the corresponding top subject. So second int goes here. And then third int. There we go. So after writing all of them, what you're gonna do is, so below I'm gonna type in first result, and you gotta repeat this process for the other two as well. So first result will equal first int plus second int. Let me space it out. There we go. So the reason why I'm not using a quotations is since you already, these are variables. Variables, you don't really need to put them in quotation marks. It won't work if you do. It won't give you a result. So that's why I didn't put it. It will automatically do the calculation after it, because if you put it in parentheses, it would not work. It will think you're asking for like a response, which is not the case. So it'll be first int plus second int divided by the third int. So that's the first one. The second one for the second result is second result equals second int plus third int divided by the result of first and second, the sum of first and second int. And then for the last one, third result the result is, so, whoa, my fault. The result, so this one's gonna be slightly different. Will be, so first int times, or multiply, I should say, multiply by third int percent second int. And we're almost done, you guys. So lastly, so let me see if I still have the other part saved with the, nope, okay. So let me just copy the system.outprintln for the response part. So first is first result. So first result, space it to make it clean, and then outside of it, and now you can just copy what you wrote here and then swap it for third result and second result. So let's put second yeah. And that's it for this one. So let me save, and let's see how it runs. Ooh, I am missing something. Give me a second, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. I needed to check something again, but I fixed the issue. So now my code works. So you can type in any integer. So let's do 10. Second, let's do 25 and 19. So the result is for the first int, for the first result is 11, second is 1, and third result is 15. Well guys, that was a lot of coding for me. But I hope you guys did learn something from doing all those code I did. If so, if you guys like what you guys saw today, please like and comment. And if you want to see more of this, please subscribe to my channel. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.